Today's is a new topic. Topic is the human eye. As you all know that the most important creature, I should say, on earth is human being, and a very important part of human being's anatomy is a human eye. Okay, if you do not have an eye, you just cannot see this world. Okay, for the material world, this human eye is given. Of course, there is another eye which people call as third eye. Okay, that is a different matter, and that is also an eye which can give you glimpses of spiritual experiences or whatever the vision is coming in that domain. It comes through that. But right now we are talking about human eye. Okay, but we'll try to touch upon, let's see, maybe the research is going on. At one point of time I've done some research on third eye also. Okay, but I could not find any not any meaningful explanations for that in the usual texts. Okay, so then I continued with my journey, and then eventually after many years some things came up, and then slowly I could understand that. Okay, but as far as if you see that this whole civilization on earth is, you can say that it is solar. Okay, so all the vegetation, everything is just happening because of sun. Okay, Suryadev, or wahan se whatever the light is coming. Okay, so that is like all the plants and vegetation, all the functions, they are dependent upon that. Even the atmospheric currents, atmospheric things. Okay, the pollution level that is lowered by these things. Okay, so the sunlight also clears the atmosphere, and for that to happen, for that to understand, for that to see, okay, we need something. Okay, and that is human eye in a human anatomy. So what do you think? Is human eye is only just for seeing, or could it have some other function also? What do you think? These are like top one and this one. Ciliary muscles. What do you think about the question? Okay. Could it have some other meaning also? Take nerve. Vitreous humor. Yes. So in spiritual terms, if we see that human body is like a mini cosmos, okay? कहते हैं पूरा ब्रह्मांड ही आपके पास है, okay? So it's like a mini cosmos. So if we consider that, so then there has to be some way of getting the information to the center of the universe also, okay? And eye has such properties. But generally in today's terms in materialistic world, we take it as just an organ given to us, okay, for processing the information, for processing the 3D information. Generally, if we see the human structure, if we see the human human evolution, so we have got two eyes, okay? We have not got only one eyes. But if you see other creatures, for example, if you see birds and if you see other animals, then they are also having two eyes, but the placement of eyes is different, okay, as compared to the human eye.
सर प्रेडेटर एंड प्रे
Hmm?
सर वो प्रे है और ह्यूमन प्रेडेटर में आते हैं
हाँ
सर प्रेडेटर
और
की आई प्लेस है प्रे की थोड़ी सर साइड में होते हैं ताकि वो 360 डिग्री देख सके
right. तो उसमें I mean it depends upon the adaptive nature of the evolution, okay? Evolution happens adaptively. So for maybe suppose chameleon is there, okay? Eyes are on both the sides and he's able to see suppose something is coming towards him, okay? So he can take care of himself and he can like eat, I mean, for his food requirements also. So the design is like that, okay? Maybe the gap between the two eyes is more, okay? And they are placed on both the sides of his mouth or maybe that structure, okay? So he can have the field of view, large field of view. But if we see that human eye, if we like close one eye and we see from only one eye, then it happens like it's kind of a 2D image you see. But if you see from both the eyes, then you can see the 3D world, okay? And that is how brain process. We have got optic nerves also. That information passes through the eyes and it goes to the main center of the main processing center. You can also compare that with the computer system, okay? Then there is a main processor. Whatever the informations are given, it is getting processed in the flip-flops of the processor. Same thing happens over here also. And camera system, camera system is only it only mimics the eye structure, human eye structure, okay? That is how, I mean, it is inspired from the human eye. All the things that we are using, all the devices, different things, they are all inspired by Mother Nature. Okay, so eye is a very important organ of our body. Okay, and it has many. I remember I've written one story. It's based upon the real excerpts. Okay, it has happened with me. At one point of time, I was in Dhamsalil, Dehradun, and I happened to, I think it was after my Vipassana course, and I was able to talk to that Swami. Okay, he was not very old. He was quite young, and he used to live in, I think, at one point of time, or at that time, I don't remember completely, but he was in Shankaracharya Mutt or somewhere. Okay, and he was telling that his smaller, younger brother, basically, he was a mathematician. He is working in UK somewhere. So he told me about one thing. Okay, we were casually talking, and then he told me about. So I have named the story as Water Yogi. Okay, so what he told me was that at one point of time he was like sitting in the room, and I think somebody told him to watch. Okay, or he was like constantly staring at one point. Somehow got the inspiration, and he was constantly staring at some point through his eyes without like flipping the eyelids. Though I do not believe fully that, because I've tried that, but generally eyelids flip. Okay, but for many hours he did that, and after that, what he could see the water in that wall, all through that wall. Okay, so he didn't understand. Then he like slept after that, but he could not get the meaning of it, what has happened with him. But afterwards, what happened was, now with his eyes he could see the water level below the earth. Okay, he has got something from the nature, and he could see those water level. So slowly, whenever he used to go somewhere, because he was a Swami from that, and so people used to he used to tell like, okay, the water is at that level. You can like dig it over here. So after that, they used to dig, and it was true. So slowly, the word got out. People knew about him. Okay, and they used to like, now they were calling him different village. Okay, village heads, and in the vicinity wherever they have to dig, so they used to call this water yogi. Okay, धीरे धीरे like उसमें they used to offer him some money also, clothes, है ना, different perks, and he was into that. But since he was using it for his own benefits, then slowly that thing, मतलब he just lost that thing. Okay, and afterwards also people used to call him, okay, now tell the where is the water level, and he used to say that this is the water level while he was not able to see. Okay, so but he could not tell the people that I am not lost that power, whatever. Okay, so finally he like went back to that, or wherever he used to live. Or then he was telling that, oh, there was a phase when I like did this, and in a flow when I was moving, because people were that demanding, and slowly since I was getting some perks, and slowly it went away. But it was some kind of a thing that has happened through the eye only. Okay, so eye has got many spiritual benefits. Okay, it has got some spiritual, it is capable of many spiritual experiences. Okay, while at this time we are just treating it as an organ. Okay, if it is not good, if suppose you are having that sight is not good, okay, you are facing some problem, so there are some operations people do that. There are some lenses also that have come up, but eventually eye is very powerful. Okay, so all this sun-based system, the light is coming from the sun, vegetation is happening. Okay, sunlight is falling on different objects, so those lights are getting reflected and are entering your eye system. So it is basically that light only. Okay, it is due to that light you can see this world. and eye is a very important part, plays a very important part. Okay, then optic nerves are also very important. But these days, since the food habits have become like that, people have become less aware. Now they are reviving, which is very good. So everything is affected. Okay, even an eye, if we see closely, as you can see on the screen, the very top part is cornea. Okay, the front part is cornea. So whatever the light is coming, it passes through that cornea. Okay, so it's like, as we were talking about the ozone layer, also light is coming, some light is reflected, some light is going inside. So we are also having an aura, and at the very organ level, if we see, we also have a cornea. Okay, so it also plays a similar kind of a role. Light enters, then we have got aqueous humor. It's some kind of a liquid having some proteins, okay, in today's terms. So after that it goes to there is a this thing, pupil. Okay, pupil is like it's a kind of a lens, but it is not fixed. Its width is not fixed. It's kind of a little malleable. Everybody has it. So whenever you focus your eyes on anything, so this changes. Okay, focal length changes of this pupil. Where is the pupil? This one. Okay, so it changes.
Yes, sir.
It changes what it basically means. Since we now am aware of the lenses also. Okay, so what kind of lens is this pupil?
सर मेरे साइंस के ऑब्जेक्टिव के मार्क्स आ गए हैं
Okay,
सर 10 आउट ऑफ 10
very good. So we'll talk about that. What kind of lens is this? Hmm.
सर लाइक इफ
Pupil.
वी सी
Hmm.
सर
But
कॉन्केव
we have like
Sir,
okay.
convex.
Think again. Convex होगा ना, concave कैसे हो जाएगा? Right?
Sir, convex ही बोला मैंने.
Convex ही तो है. हाँ.
सर मैं वही पूछ रहा हूँ कि कहाँ से अगर हम देखेंगे तो
ये जो wherever I put the tick mark, थोड़ा round shape में है, right? It has a convex. It's a kind of a convex lens, and but it's not focal length is not fixed. Okay. Whenever you focus on something, suppose you're focusing on, you're like reading from some book which is at very close nearby to your eye. Okay, so it focal length changes. And if you're seeing a far sighted object, some far objects, okay, which are not that near to your eyes, so its focal length changes. It becomes little thin. Okay, it becomes little relaxed so that it can see easily. But whenever you focus on some nearby object, suppose you're reading a book, okay, so it basically contracts, not contracts, it's like somehow it becomes little thicker. Okay, focal length is also decreased in that case so that you can focus. Okay, so if we see from nature's point of view, because we have heard and we have like these lenses also, if we study these lenses, generally we see that we have got concave lenses, convex lenses, but which lens should I prefer? And if we see, if I see the nature's design, which is there in our body, okay, which is there in our organ also, so it is basically convex lens. So I think from nature's point of view, convex lens is of highest weight. Okay, the weight is high. It is another thing that if it is getting, your eye is getting some defect, you can like put, as per the defect, you can put different lenses in front of it. Okay, that at least science has done now, and it is beneficial also because, and everything is connected at the end of the day, because suppose your food habits are going that way that it is affecting eye also, because whatever you eat, it goes to eye also, right? Some part of it, the juices, etc., the nutrition, it goes to your eye also, because there is a aqueous humor also, there is vitreous humor in front of retina. Okay, so all these are liquids. So whatever you eat, um, that will make up this liquid as well. Okay, so if you eat healthy, if you eat natural, then your eye will also be natural. I remember I happened to is one of my friends in Agra, and his grandfather, still remember, used to read the newspaper at the age of like 80 plus. He was 80 plus years, and he was not using any lenses. And what he was saying when I asked him, that he said that he has like um, at his time, and at that time also he used to take desi ghee. Okay, so that is very beneficial for your eye. But these days now people and youngsters are not that much aware, है they are into different food habits. But if you go to the old food habits, okay, if you have the cow's ghee, or ghee for any matter, or you can have like makhan also, okay, butter, fresh white butter also. So that will help your eye. How it will help? Somehow it will like regenerate maybe the vitreous humor, okay, aqueous humor, and it will like other parts will also remain healthy. So it is such an intricate system or design. And when I compare that with the camera, so I don't see that the camera is that advanced, okay, as our eye is. Even we can have a new kind of a camera system with this kind of an approach. This could be a quantum approach. Why? Because the liquid is also there, the lens is also malleable kind of, okay, because these days they are working in MIT, and they have like, since they have worked on Bose-Einstein condensate, now they are making some matter, I mean different forms of matter, superfluids, super liquid, some that sort of material is coming up. Okay, so with that coming up, I see that we can have a new kind of a design with this camera system also. Okay, those kind of things are coming. Maybe eventually in future you will see them. Okay, so, and there is, because the light is entering through your eye into the system, so you have also got a eyelid. Okay, so whenever you are like awake, so your eyelid flaps in between. Okay, so just give you the it's kind of a relaxation for your eye. And this thing happens in camera also. Okay, camera, that latest camera that we are using, they also have this kind of a diaphragm kind of a thing. Okay, so it is basically inspired from eye, but I still believe that the next level of designs will come from here, and they will be quite advanced. But now still there is less talk going on about the spiritual connection of the eye. Okay, as I was telling you about that water yogi, तो वो भी उसने like he did it from his own eyes, right? He was focusing on one point. So if you focus on one point, something happens, right? तो वो कहाँ से हो रहा है? How is it happening? Okay, it is the same eye, same aqueous humor, same pupil, iris, cornea, but optic nerve is also there. So there is some connection. If you see center of universe, if you see some galaxy design, okay, galaxy pictures taken by maybe NASA or somebody, okay, so if you saw those, and if you see a close-up of the eye, so you'll find some similarities in that. Okay, you see small nerves, you will see then a black dot in between, so there is a connection. Okay, since you have got a human birth, and this human system is got, it's a mini cosmos kind of a thing. Okay, so eye plays a very important part. So anything that you're doing, suppose you're making some product, food product, and if it is hampering your if it is not that pure, and if it is not helping your system, okay, so it might like, वो एक दोष भी होती हैं ये सब चीज़ें. ओके, तो हमें we will try to have the natural system. That is why these things are reviving, and that was given by Indian rishis. Okay, Indian सभ्यता में यही सब सिखाया गया था. Why? Because they used to treat and their human body as a temple. Why temple? Because it was a mini cosmos. Okay, you've got all the connections through different uh, different points are there in the body, है ना? So which can be connected, you can connect them. They are connected basically to different lokas. I've written one story for that as well. There is a worm who goes into your spinal cord, and different chakras it goes, and how it moves to the different lokas. So different kind of a thing is there, but through these stories, maybe through we can have some awareness, so that and since it is connected to every other thing, okay, our foods, our system, whatever we are, so we have to be very cautious in whatever we do, whatever we create, okay. That has to be beneficial at the end of the day, and we need to at least have a thought how it is beneficial, okay. Since we now understand this human concept, this human understanding, and it's a kind of a mini cosmos, so it basically inspires us to uh, have to be a more cautious in that approach, okay, whatever we design, whatever we think. And we always do that, we should always do that with a prayer, okay, maybe to Dhamma, and we should pray and to guide us on this path, you know, to guide us on these designs, so that it is beneficial for the mankind, okay. Now since I'm not talking there, like some of the topics are given that how this particular kind of defect is there, but what I see is different due to different habits, okay. So food habits, maybe other habits, maybe you are like sticking up to your mobile all the time, or to your other things. So for that it can have some effect, okay. So you try to be natural. Many times I've seen that whenever I used to strain, or when I used to study much, after that I used to get some strain in my eyes, okay. That also affects the health of the eye, and since you are also a part of that now, so having a splash of water, okay, just relaxes that. तो वही है, जो जैसा बाहर है वैसा ही भीतर है ना? उन्हीं चीज़ों से, वाटर से वो रिलैक्स हो जाती है आईज, ओके। तो ये छोटी छोटी प्रैक्टिसेस हैं विच वी शुड फॉलो, ओके। So optic nerves, what do you think they do? And where is the image formed? Retina, huh? So there is whole there's called, these nerves are also there, ciliary muscles, okay. Ciliary muscles are also there, and there is iris, okay. It somehow it's kind of a diaphragm, iris, or you can see some part of the pupil, and you can like suppose iris goes up, so you can see the more part of the pupil also. So based upon the light requirement, for example, have you ever noticed that if you're into a dark room and suddenly you come into the light, okay, then it takes some time to adjust, because whatever the cells are there, rods and cones they say, okay. So based upon those cells, okay, you see the light, and suppose you are into one kind of environment where light is not there, almost nil, and then they, all these cells, they adapt, and they adapt to that environment, and when suddenly you come to this, so it takes some time, okay. So that shows that eye is not like a, it's a gradual system, it's not a discrete system as every other thing is. So whatever happens, it will take some time to adjust, okay. And if suppose you do this very frequently, it might have some effect on your eyes also. So इसलिए कहते हैं कि whenever you read, you should have proper lightings in your room, okay. नहीं तो your eyes will get affected. So always while studying, okay, always follow these instructions and try to see as per your requirement, but you should have proper lighting, yeah, for studying also. So eye is very important. If you can take it far through your food habits, and that will help you immensely. But what I've seen is कि भाई, if you watch too much of the TV and other things, then it might, in young age also, you might face certain problems. Sometimes it is hereditary also, okay, coming from your forefathers or your parents, but definitely you can improve. So that is why they say that if you, and it has also got some connection to your colors thing, Suppose you eat yellow fruits, okay, so it will help. मौसम्बी हो गई है ना, maybe mango, raw mangoes, ripe mangoes, तो वो help करते हैं yellow वाले, okay, काफ़ी ज़्यादा, because I have myself faced these issues with my eyes many years back when I used to study, so there were some problems, and when I went to the doctor, he suggested me few things: carrots, carrot juice, spinach juice, and so daily I used to take 1 or 2 glasses, okay, and after that I saw that well, the power has gone down, and after that within a month I saw drastic changes in my eyes, okay, the power came up. Regularly I used to do that. I still remember I was in Agra at that time, but since I was also growing up, so I did not know what was happening, okay, तो वो आई की थोड़ी सी पावर कम हो गई थी और उसमें पावर बढ़ रही थी, तो फिर उसने बताया, एंड आफ्टर दैट आई हैव नॉट यूज्ड एनीथिंग, है ना, तब भी नहीं किया था मैंने, एंड आई डिड दैट प्रैक्टिस फॉर मंथ और मे बी 2-3 months, ओके, इन विंटर्स, सो आई डिड दैट। कैरेट आप खाएं तो उससे काफ़ी फ़ायदा होता है, स्पिनिश का कैरेट का जूस जो रहता है वो काफ़ी फ़ायदा करता है आँख में, ठीक है। सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज़ थ्रू योर फूड हैबिट्स ऑल्सो, एंड द नॉलेज इज़ अवेलेबल, इट्स ऑन योर प्लेट, एंड यू कैन हैव दीज थिंग्स, ओके, so it will help you immensely. Abhi bhi, even you might be having some spectacles with you, but if you in your winters time, if you have carrots, regular carrot juice, उसमें कितना टाइम ही लगता है ना, और carrots काफ़ी सस्ती भी हो जाती हैं, like they are very quite cheap in winters, and if you take that regularly, है ना, that you will see the benefits, आपकी whatever the lens power is there, okay, it will lower down or it will come towards the balance side, करके देख सकते हो आप। मेरे साथ हुआ था और उसका मुझे फ़ायदा हुआ उस समय पे, नहीं तो एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आई वाज थिंकिंग कि भाई स्पेक्ट्स ऐसे हो जाएंगे, लेकिन फिर वो कवर अप हो गए उससे, ओके। तो वो खुद के साथ होती हैं तो फिर देन वो पता रहते हैं, कोई एक तरह का इन्फेक्शन सा था वहाँ पर जो हुआ था मुझे, वाटर इन्फेक्शन की वजह से था, और फिर आई पे मुझे कुछ फ़र्क हुआ था उसकी वजह से, बट ओवर द टाइम इट गॉट लाइक, काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम्स आती थी उस समय पे, पर हम लगे रहते थे, ठीक है। जनरली व्हाट डू यू सी कि भाई अगर if we see the human two eyes, what is the angle that we see? What do you think? Scope of view. Okay, if we see generally scope ये सारा ही रहता है, okay, approximately 180 degrees है, या फिर उससे थोड़ा ज़्यादा भी हो ही सकता है ना, ऐसे। This is the top view, suppose top view over my head, okay, अगर मैं ऐसे देख रहा हूँ, this is my nose, so this is the, ये ऊपर से आपका वो आ रहा है, okay, 180 के करीब। इसी तरह से if you see some other creature, है ना, तो कोई है उसकी एक आइज इधर है, आप देखोगे, ओके, तो कितना स्कोप इधर हो गया, ओके, इस तरीके से कुछ दिख रहा है, बल्कि एक आई से वो दूसरी आई को देख नहीं पा रहा है, ऐसा भी हो सकता है, दोनों साइड में है, बट स्टिल एट द लेवल ऑफ द प्रोसेसिंग द ब्रेन इज प्रोसेसिंग देम टू बी one image kind of thing, okay, depend upon that creature, it is kind of adaptable system and it eventually happens over the time, ये चीज़ हो सकती है, okay, so there is some minimum distance at which objects can be seen without any strain, okay, it's called the least distance of distinct vision, near point of the eye, or you can say, okay, near point of the eye. ओके कितना होता है नियर पॉइंट? डू यू हैव एनी आइडिया? करीब करीब what is like the normal range that is written on in the books, but generally it can vary. Okay, generally it is taken to be 25 centimeter. So it is like if you hold any object, if you see any paper, okay, at about 25 centimeter from your eyes, you will see it clearly, okay, with relaxed eyes. But if you see that you're like suppose reading a newspaper, suppose reading some journal, okay, if you take it like little more closer than this 25 centimeter, at one point of time you'll find that letters have gone blurred. Okay, that is why this is called as kind of a near point of the eye, so that here you can see the relaxed eye is very relaxed, but this also could vary with different people. Okay, but generally on an average this is taken as the near point of the eye. If it is lower than that, if it is smaller than this, then you'll see the blurriness in the whatever. If you're reading a book, you'll see that. Okay, similarly this is a new near point, so another point is called as the far point. Okay, कितना होगा far point of the eye? Generally इससे आगे ही समझ सकते हो ना, 25 cm to infinity as they say it, but to very far distance. Okay, we can say that. Okay, these two are important things. And there's one term known as accommodation. See. Accommodation. Okay. What is this? Ability of eye lens to adjust its focal length. To adjust its focal length. Focal length. Okay, this is called accommodation. What is the material? Eye lens is basically composed of a fibrous jelly-like material. Okay, so when the muscles are relaxed, the lens becomes thin. ठीक है, ये भी देख सकते हैं हम. Eye muscles, eye muscles. रिलैक्स्ड हैं तो lens becomes thin. Lens becomes thin. ठीक है, and little strained or closer objects पे closer objects, okay, lens becomes thick. Lens becomes thick. Thick, okay. Focal length means basically decreases when it becomes thick, okay. तो रिलैक्स्ड होगी तो वो थोड़ा पतला हो जाएगा और वो थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे हल्का सा मोटा सा हो जाएगा और फिर उसकी फोकस लेंथ भी डिक्रीज हो जाएगी, फोकल लेंथ भी, ओके. सो दिस इज रिलेटेड टू आई मसल्स. Accommodation ये चीज़ हो गई है, okay. Near point, far point, this is very important. Maybe in ancient times when people used to be very large, okay, height was quite much and age was also much at that time. We do not have that proofs, but this near point of the eye and the far point of the eye would be like maybe they are different, okay. Definitely they should have some difference as of today. दिखाते हैं ना कहीं कहीं पे दे like when they archaeologist excavate तो वहाँ पे they are finding much bigger taller skeletons. So उनमें eyes भी okay, they'll have a different system. They might be they are inside eyes they are the same, or maybe some kind of adaptation is there because now we are at this juncture of the humanity. So after much adaptations we have this eye structure, okay. So at that point there will be some differences and maybe the focus point, this near point would differ at that time, okay. What do you think about the vision of different creatures? What do you think? Okay, so if we see the visible spectrum, okay, if we see the like ऐसे हम एक टाइमलाइन बना लेंगे, ऐसे कुछ देखते हैं हम, ओके, वेवलेंथ्स देखते हैं यहाँ पे लाइट की वेवलेंथ्स अगर हम ऐसे देखें तो इसमें एक होता है विजिबल स्पेक्ट्रम, ओके. विजिबल स्पेक्ट्रम, ओके. सो अभी हमारे आईज जो डिजाइन है इट इज डिजाइन फॉर द विजिबल स्पेक्ट्रम, ओके. 400 से 700 nm, something of that sort, 400 to 700, I mean it could vary but generally of that order, okay. So those kind of things we can see easily, but if we see this is the light range, okay, if we go out of the visible range then also the light frequencies are there, light wavelengths are there, okay. So light has like got a vast spectrum. So if we see there are different creatures, okay, human being is there, then dogs are there, different animals are there, okay, different birds are there. So they all see there is some kind of a difference, okay. So that is why they see that whenever you have a, suppose you are feeding a dog, okay, so dog has got some power, he can see different vibrations also through his own eyes, and if you are suppose walking down, if you like give him some bread or rotis. Okay, so he generally, whenever you walk in, he can see certain things, certain wavelengths he can see, which you cannot see. Okay, so are they beneficial for you? Are they not beneficial for you? In the same way, he barks at you many times. Okay, while you won't understand what is happening, but he's constantly barking maybe at you. Okay, तो वो उसको कुछ दिखाई दे रहा है वहाँ पे. So these things happen. I've seen them closely. Or that is why this is kind of a collaborative system. Nature is a collaborative system, है ना? So we should respect all life forms. Nature is a collaborative system. Collaborative system. Respect all life forms. All life forms. Okay. Dhamma teaches you these. Dhamma teaches you this. Okay. Okay. So as I mean, you might have seen that eagles, if we see eagles, they're like flying that high and they can like see even a mouse, okay, on the earth, on the ground. So they have such, I mean, what do you think about their, if we talk about eagles, what do you think unka kya hoga? Near point, far point. So you think about the focus of their eyes, okay? Eagle has such a sharp focus that even from that height, they can see quite distinctly. If we are at that height, maybe we are not able to see with that clarity. So, okay, so Mother Nature has given that special ability to eagles. And why? They are fulfilling certain parts in the nature, okay, certain part in the whole drama. कैसे? They are acting as scavengers, okay? कुछ हो रहा है तो उसे लेके चले जाते हैं, वो दिखेगा ही नहीं तो फिर लेके कैसे जाएंगे, है ना? सो उनकी आइज पे इफ यू स्टडी तो वो एक तरह का कितनी फोकस्ड होंगी, है ना? उनका नियर पॉइंट कैसा होगा, उनका फार पॉइंट कैसा होगा. सो दिस इज अ होल लॉट ऑफ स्टडी एंड यू कैन रिसर्च ऑन दैट इफ यू लाइक. यू कैन हैव सम प्रोजेक्ट्स कंपेयरिंग दीज स्कूल प्रोजेक्ट्स यू कैन हैव, है ना? ह्यूमन आई में कितना रहता है नियर फार पॉइंट, ईगल में कितना रहता है, डॉग्स में कितना रहता है, डू वी हैव सम डेटा? And though they say that science is like gone that vast, gone that deep, but still you're not very sure what a dog is seeing. Okay, उसके आँख के अंदर तो नहीं जा सके आप, वो क्या दिख रहा है उसको, you just cannot make out, है ना? From your experiments, from your different kind of things, but a rishi can tell, है ना? जैसे जैसे आप अंदरूनी रूप में डेवलप करोगे तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें आपको पता लगती चली जाएंगी नेचर की. तो ये मैं कह रहा हूँ कि साइंस कितना भी करते रहे लेकिन वहाँ तक पहुँचना मुश्किल होता है, विच sadhak can reach. Okay, a person who is on the inner journey can reach, and that is what our ancient rishis have done. And at that time, and nature used to uncover, okay, जो भी चलता है nature uncovers, है ना? Nature like brings forth their natural laws. What are the laws which are governing the nature? And even our whatever the system that we have right now in these days also, that is also a kind of a subset of those natural laws. Okay, we are doing everything and we are developing different technologies, different things based upon those natural laws only, okay, which some people have uncovered. So the main journey is to uncover all the natural laws, and that is the inner journey. Okay, and whatever subset is beneficial for the humankind, that is what the Buddha does. और वो वही चीज़ें बता के जाते हैं, है ना? वो सबसेट जो है उतना ही बताते हैं जितना ज़रूरी होता है फॉर द मैनकाइंड. ओके, ठीक है. सो इसमें
यस सर।
ठीक है ना, स्कूल लिखता हूँ मैं, स्कूल प्रोजेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं कुछ। देखो थिंग्स आर दैट मच इंटरेस्टिंग है ना, if we just somehow we read through the books also, this chapter you can get marks, but generally you should think holistically. Okay, since nature is a collaborative system, how that is happening to the other beings, are we able to get that? Are we at a point in our research based or in our humanity evolution that we can at least know about these things? No, we still are not. Okay, inner journey people can do many things which science still cannot do. Okay, but since it is a collaborative system we can take benefits of it. ठीक है, यू आर फीडिंग अ डॉग तो वो आपको प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं, और किसी किसी दिन वो आपके ऊपर भौंकते भी हैं, आपको लग रहा है मैं तो रोटी डाल रहे हैं और फिर क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा, तो देख रहे हैं कि बिकॉज दे आर ऑल्सो गिविंग यू सिग्नल कि भाई कोई बात हो रही है आपके साथ, है ना, विच दे कैन सी certain kind of a frequency, certain kind of a wavelength which they can see, you cannot see by your own eyes. Okay, so that is how उनका भी एक सिस्टम बना, इट्स काइंड ऑफ एम्बेडेड सिस्टम, आपने उनको हेल्प की, वो उन्होंने आपको हेल्प की इन अ डिफरेंट वे, बट यू शुड एटलीस्ट अंडरस्टैंड ना. बट व्हेन यू आर गोइंग थ्रू दीज बुक्स, व्हेन यू गोइंग थ्रू दिस स्टडी, उसमें तो कोई भी चैप्टर में ये चीज़ बताई नहीं गई, तो तुम्हें क्या लगता है वो भौंक रहा है तो वो तो गलत ही होगा? गलत नहीं है, वो आपको कुछ हेल्प कर रहा है, बिकॉज नेचर इज काइंड ऑफ अ फीडबैक सिस्टम. ओके, तो वो है आपका. ओके, कोई भी है जैसे, तो वो आपको एक तरीके से हेल्प ही करते रहते हैं सारी चीज़ें कहीं ना कहीं किसी न किसी रूप में. ओके, और हमें भी उनकी करनी है, तो दिस इज लाइक इन यूनिशन, इन हार्मनी वी कैन लिव. ओके, दिस इज कॉल्ड हार्मोनियस लिविंग. collaborative approach of living is actually harmonious, is actually harmonious. Okay, this is a very important message, and at least we can live through this thing. Okay, the other topics also, I think. ठीक है, with this I am closing this lecture today. We'll continue this the next lecture.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye, take care. Yeah.